welcome back to the channel. Today we are starting class 10 science chapter 1 chemical reactions and equation. This chapter is extremely important for your board exam, and by the end of this video you will understand every concept in a very simple and clear way. So let's begin. First of all, we discuss what are chemical reactions? Chemical reactions are processes where one or more substance convert into new substances. The original substances are called reactants and the newly formed substances are called products. For example, iron plus oxygen it gives rust, okay? Food designations or a respiration or a milk turning sour. All these are chemical reaction because new substances are formed. You can see here a word equation show a change of reactant to a product through an arrow placed between them. Okay, left hand side we write down the reactant and right hand side we write down a product. So next, how do we know a chemical reaction has occurred? A chemical reaction is identified any four factor. First, we include indicators. First, change in color. For example, copper sulfate has a blue color, turns colorless when zinc is added. Next, change in state. Solid to liquid, liquid to gas. Third one is formation of gas. Effervescence in acid plus metal. Formation of precipitate, a solid formed during the reactions. Change in a temperature. Fifth is the heat released or absorbed. Sixth one also we can add a change in smell like a food rotting. Okay. Next, chemical equations. Chemical equations are short way to represent chemical reactions. For example, when a magnesium burns in air, it will form a magnesium plus oxygen. It gives magnesium oxide. We can use for chemical equation Mg plus O2. It gives MgO. Next, balancing chemical reactions in a chemistry. The number of atoms on the reactant side must be equal to the number of atoms on the product side. This is called balancing. Balanced means 2 Mg plus O2. It gives 2 MgO. Either you can see here 2H2 plus O2, it gives 2H2. Okay. Step by step we explain that first of all we count atoms on a both side. Second, add coefficients to balance. Third, never change subscripts. Okay. Type of chemical reactions. First type is combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, double displacement and redox reaction. So let's start. First, combination reaction. Two substances combine to form one product. Here we can use this example to magnesium plus O2, it gives 2 MgO. Either you can calcium oxide plus H2, it gives calcium hydroxide. This heat is released along with the formation of product are called exothermic reactions. Burning of natural gas and the decomposition of vegetable matter into a compost are also an example of exothermic reactions. This is endothermic reactions are those reactions in this heat absorbed. In exothermic heat is released and endothermic reaction heat is absorbed. During digestion, food is broken down into a simpler substances. For example, rice, potatoes, and bread contain carbohydrates. These carbohydrates breaken down to form a glucose. And this glucose combined with oxygen in the cells of our body and provides energy. This is an endothermic reaction too. Next, we discuss decomposition reaction. A compound breaks into two or more simpler substances. For example, calcium carbonate break down into calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. Here also we can use a FeSO4, ferrous sulfate. It give to heat. We give a heat and it break down into Fe2O3 plus SO2 plus SO3. Fe2O3 means ferrous oxide, ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide, and sulfur trioxide are gases. So we can use it will be evaporated. So next, there are three types of decomposition reaction. There is thermal, electrolytic, and photosynthesis, photolysis or photo decompositions. First, we discuss electrolytic decomposition. Take a plastic mug, drill two holes and it base and fill a rubber stopper in these holes. Insert carbon electrodes in this rubber stopper. Connect these electrolytes to a 6-volt battery. We can study this all example in our textbook. Okay, you can remember this. Next, we use the photolysis for a thermal decomposition. Halogen compounds decompose on a exposure to a sunlight. We can use here AgCl. It break down in a Ag and Cl2. Okay. Photolytic reactions are used in a black and white photography. These reactions, which energy is absorbed, are known as the endothermic reaction. This example also use we can endothermic reaction. The decomposition reaction require energy either in a form of heat, light, or electricity for breaking down to the reactants. Okay. Next, we discuss displacement reaction. A more reactive elements displace a less reactive elements. For example, zinc plus copper sulfate, it gives ZnSO4 plus copper. You can see here also one extra also example, zinc plus H2S, it gives H2 plus ZnS. Color change also you can see in these photographs. Next, this some example, aluminium plus copper sulfate, it gives copper plus Al2SO4 thrice. Fe break down to copper and display Fe is displaced a copper. We can use this series, you can remember. Okay, upper all our metals are displaced downwards. So remember your series. Here lead also break down the copper. Okay, so all the metals up or down in our electrolytic series is displayed to downwards metal. Okay, you can remember this. Next, double displacement reaction, exchange of ions between two compounds. For example, AgNO3 plus NaCl, it gives AgCl plus NaNO3. This both ion are displaced to each other. Okay, that's why we call the double displacement reactions. You can see the figure. Next, oxidation or a reduction, it's called a redox reaction. Oxidation plus reduction happening together. In oxidation, gain of oxygen or a loss of hydrogen. In the reduction, loss of oxygen or a gain of hydrogen. For example, copper oxide plus H2, it gives copper plus H2O. Okay. In the redox reactions, you can see here this example, methane. In the methane CH4, carbon has a hydrogen, it can lose its hydrogen and gain to oxygen, so it's called oxidation. Or oxygen gain a hydrogen, so it's called a reduction. This example you can see a step by step. Next, corrosion and a rancidity. Rancidity means food containing oil becomes spoiled, okay, or corrosion will rusting of iron. How to prevent rusting for a painting, galvanization, oiling, or greasing. For the end of this video, quick revision for the exam. You can use the important points to remember. First of all, reactants, left hand side, right hand side we use the products. Chemical equation must be balanced. Learn all the 5 types of reactions. Understand oxidation and reduction. Example of corrosion and rancidity. Flowchart help in a quick revision. Okay. So students, this was chapter 1, chemical reactions and equation explained in a simple way. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe. Also comment below with a chapter you want next. Thank you for watching and all the best for your exam.